Good afternoon everyone, it's Rachel here with a very late video. This is my whatever Wednesday. I didn't get in here yesterday, I'm sorry. And today it is now 4:30 and the sun is coming around, so we won't be able to stay too long. And it's my sister's fault because she called me and then a friend of ours, Vic, was calling her, and so then we did a video chat and it was a very long phone call and my phone nearly died, and so hence my very late video. So most of you will know I have these lovely new things. They're not in my shop now. They were printed on a thinner cotton and the print is lovely. They've pretty much all sold. I might be able to put a couple more in until the next print out. I've ordered them, but I've ordered them on the regular cotton. So the jury's out which one. Oh my goodness, some dust has gone up my nose. About to sneeze. The jury is out whether which one I prefer, but this folded over, I folded over the edges. I just creased it with my finger. So let me show you. I'll cut one out and show you what I did. This one I don't have much of a space, but I probably cut the round one flush with the edge. But because it's quite thin, I thought folding over the edge like so, just you could run your iron, but also it creased quite nicely doing it multiple times with my fingers, and just fold it over to get your crease. Hopefully I'm on screen. And then I'm going to just applique it like it's a needle turn, so you get the idea. I think this one will be beautiful with some pretty colored embroidery. So anyway, I decided to put them on some beautiful sort of home soft furnishing sort of fabric. So this is, I don't know what you call that, but just a beautiful fabric. I think I got it last weekend, and this one is a beautiful 1800s fabric. I think I used it on, did I use it on a heart or something? I don't know. And then I think I've got more, but I put it on a spot that has less decoration. I don't think I've only got little bits left. So sort of a bit more over here where there was less decoration. But I want to pick up, where did my piece go? Oh, here we go. I've got a piece here. I wanted to take this flower, which is this one here. I don't want to cut it out. Mum suggested that I cut it out, but I don't want to cut it out because I want to use that fabric. So I'm going to just sort of see if I can replicate it a little bit, embroidering over this onto here. And I was thinking this was in a bit of a torn piece. I wanted to fussy cut this a bit more and see if I could put that on somewhere and just make a bit of a picture, embroidered picture out of it. Okay, and I have this beautiful old frame here. I'll show you in a second, but it doesn't have any glass. So it would get dusty with no glass, but Mum thought I should have glass on it, but I thought I could spray it with a fixant, like a protective sort of acrylic spray like artists do on their canvases, and then you could just dust it. Or I could try and find a frame, an El Cheapo frame of a similar size, same size it'd have to be, and see if I could, oh, I didn't know that was folded up there. See if I could get the glass off that. See, I could put that there, embroidered. I'll totally embroider it and have to embroider that, and that would balance it, wouldn't it? So that's what I'm thinking on that one. Those are my thoughts. So I think I might applique this down first, and then on this one I was thinking I might find a pretty flower, like some sort of, no, down here I wanted to do it, some sort of lovely piece of floral and thread paint it, and then decide what else to do on there. So those are my thoughts. Now let me show you the frame. I have this frame, which I thought would go on here. I think isn't that gorgeous? These frames are not cheap to buy. Oh my goodness, some sort of dust from somewhere is going up my nose. Yeah, that's going to go there. And that flower's going to embroider over there. Oh, I think they're going to be beautiful. And I cut this down the size of the back here. Maybe this frame has dust on it, I don't know. And then I have this other damaged frame. Not very expensive frame. I'll just show you this one here. And it's broken, but I love that. And that is going to go in there. I thought, look at those colours. And some glorious embroidery on there. So I'm very excited about it. So let's start with this one. And the first thing to do is to applique this. I've got my sewing machine threads here. I'm just going to grab a darker colour. Normally I just use I don't want to use black. Or will I use black? What's on the other side? Oops, oh my goodness. I'm very squished here. Yeah, I'll use that one. No, brown. Brown's better. Okay, I'll use brown or grey. I could use grey. No, I'll use brown. Let's finish up the brown. Oh, what's that coming from? I bought this from a online sort of haberdashery store here that has fabrics and things. Not overly exciting, but you can get good storage sort of stuff. It was just a thread holder, thread container, storage container. So let's just quickly invisible stitch this on, as invisible as I can muster. That's a bit of a, probably need a thinner needle than that. Oh, that's a thin one and a long one. So how is everyone today? I'm sorry I didn't get to my video yesterday. It's just a disaster. Just too many things to do. Okay. So I'll take the dangerous one out. So when you've got straight edges, you can just iron it all in to hold it. Ideally, you would just catch it on the edge. Let me zoom you in. Just 1 second, I'm going to hop up. Now you could put lace on these things too. I cannot see for looking because the sun is coming in here. I'll bring you in a bit further. Sorry if I'm making you seasick. And I'll bring my mat here. Okay, and I know that I've got to stay there. Please don't become annoyed if I don't. Oh, and I was supposed to be making heart kits today. I'm sorry, ladies. My sister's fault. Oh, my goodness. And Steffi's bestie Boo is coming from Modena tomorrow. And you should see the state of Lulu's room. I was showing Vic. Hi, Vic. And I was just like, oh, do you think I need more space? I do live in a small apartment. It's all right for 2 people. It's not okay for all of my stuff. So just stitching this on. Maybe I should pause you because also my phone's not very charged. Hopefully it's got enough battery for me to do my video. I don't know how far we'll get. I'm very excited about this. So next week I already have a video done. That's going to go up next week for my Whatever Wednesday because I wanted to share a process of something that I made when I was doing it. And so that will go up next week. And then the week after we'll work on this. You'll have a video on this again. So it will skip a week, but that'll give time for those who did purchase these and you want to do something like this. Give it time for it to arrive too. It might arrive in time to work along and have a play. I won't go too far ahead. I'll probably just be more in the planning stages. But wouldn't they be lovely on the cover of journals as well? And colour fast, guys. Not going to fade in the sunlight. Well, fabric does fade in the sunlight, but in theory, like printed, computer printed things on inkjet printers, they do fade. So this is colour fast. I think they would make beautiful gifts for people. If it turns out the way, you know me, I have a very vague vision in my mind of things. I don't have a 100% vision of how it's going to be. And I usually have to have a chat to one of my gurus is my mum. And I generally give her a good old call before I do my new project on whatever Wednesday. And she's very, very good at helping me get clarity in what I think I might be doing. I told her I have a vague vision of it in my head, but I can't get it out. And I do flap about a bit of a flapper. So not like my other people who I think are wonderful, my sister and Corinne, who I was just saying to Sass and Vic that both she and Sarah and Corinne are always very, very good at knowing where they're going with a project. Whereas I'm always a bit foggy, got a bit of a haze in my brain. Because for me, sometimes I have to get a few steps done and then I know what's next. I can't see it straight away. So look at that, we're nearly halfway round. Super easy. So little stitch on the side, just catching the fabric. Because I'm using a darker colour too, I'm not too fussed about it. Can't really see it too much. I'll just get rid of that border there. I don't want to see that. It's very relaxing. You don't really have to think about it too much. This is a bit of a long needle. Look at that. So that happened while I was talking to my sister. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what I did. I ended up with all these scratches. I look like I've been attacked by a cat, and there are no cats here. Who knows how that happened? Now, one of you said you're a lefty and you stab your thumb all the time. I do too. Went right through my skin. Didn't hurt. Like it just went through a surface layer, but I do it all the time. I hook myself to my project. I'm sure a lot of us do that. Oh my goodness, I just love this. Isn't that fun when we have fun things to play with? So I did get it printed on the other. If I like stitching through this more, once I've exhausted the other cotton, the heavier weight cotton stock, I may go back to this one. I'm quite like it so far, but I'm only going through the edge, so who knows. And we're nearly around the corner. And this is where my lovely brocade fabrics that I do love to buy when I come across them come in handy. Now this one is a very old one. The other one I bought from a gentleman, a very elderly gentleman actually, at the antique market I went to this weekend. I got a whole stash from him. He told me that they're from they're very high end. They were from the 1950s and 60s, so they're quite old. The ones that I bought, I haven't showed you guys, but I'll probably be making packs with them. They're very good for heart packs and for this sort of project, and for making pouches. You remember my drawstring bag I made in volume 5, Roxy's Journal Stitchery volume 5? Very good for that kind of project, to make lovely bags that you can embroider on and embed. And they're such nice fabrics to embroider. Honestly, who would know that sort of home soft furnishing fabrics would be so lovely to stitch through? I mean, my other cotton is quite a tight weave, and it's a little bit harder to get your needle through it, whereas this one, it just goes through like butter, this fabric here. Anyway, yes, what did he tell me? He was so cute. He said to me, I have so many fabrics. He said, you can come to my warehouse. But it's quite, you know, it's away from us. So it's not like I'm going to be going there every day. But one day, Steph and I'll plan to go up there. And he said, and I'll make your eyes sparkle. Like, oh, that sounds good. And there were some Aussies there. And I said, when I was going through all the fabrics, I was just in fabric heaven. And I said, do I hear some Aussies? And they're like, oh, how can you tell? And I said, oh, you're here on holidays, or how did you know about this market and everything? And they were like, no, we live here, we live in Treviso. And they asked me if I was on holidays. I said, no, I've been living here on and off for 30 years now. Oh my God, it makes me want to faint saying that. And then they said to me, I said, oh, so you live here? And they said, oh, yes, we bought a house. And they said, we came over here 3 years ago. I mean, they must be retired sort of people. They didn't look that old, but they must be retired to be able to make the move. But they said, we came over here on holiday, and we didn't know how to get back. We just stayed. And so they've been living here for 3 years. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. And what an adventure to do something like that. I mean, yes, I do live over here too, but I just thought that's incredible. Did I even tell my mum that? I can't remember. I told Sass, but I can't remember if I told Mum. But I thought that's just everybody's, well, not everybody's, but a lot of people would dream to do something like that, wouldn't they? So when I want to put this on, I noticed when I put the frame, I want to be able to see the flowers. So, excuse me, oh, I love it. I love it with the gold frame. I don't know how old this frame is, but it's gold gilded, and they're, you know, I price them all the time when I go to the antique markets, and they're not cheap to buy. So I did get some really wonderful ones this time. They were not cheap, but I'm planning on doing things with them and putting some stitch projects in them. I am putting that there, and somehow I need to figure out how to get that design on there. Oh, Solvay. Oh, hello. Wake up to yourself, Rachel. A bit of Solvay will do it. I'll trace the flower over there on the Solvay, and then I'll put it on over here, and I will be set to go. Now I'm thinking, you know, it depends how frou-frou you want to go. A little bit of lace could be lovely on these too. Having trouble threading the needle. It's only a thin thread. Now, oh God, I thought I got a knot. I'm just using this taupey colour to applique that on, but for example, this is not an overly frou-frou sort of lace, but you could have, oh, couldn't that be lovely, or could it be lovely? No, I think I might do something like that, but I'm going to wait till I've got that going. I could have even had it underneath too. Oh, this is such an exciting, different project. I wonder what other imagery we could have. Although I love I love paintings. As you know, I love paintings. And these are also, I love all the portraits from the 1700s. Are they 1700s? Like Nattier and Boucher and Fragonard, and even the Italian ones did some lovely ones as well. I love all of that stuff. So just love to rejoice them and then be able to do what am I trying to say? I love the fact that I can rejoice these beautiful paintings, but also combine it with my love of stitching. Now, great inspiration for this sort of thing too would come from some French modern stitches. I don't really have any names except for Leah Stansel. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of her before. A lot of her stuff is really out there, but she does do some lovely thread painting and stitching around toile and sort of framing them with the stitches and stuff. That's sort of what I had in my head, but of course I'll do it my way. Another one is Cécile Facile, She doesn't do those like images so much, but she does do some lovely embroidery and ribbon embroidery that could be adapted around the edge of things. And then there's other ones that pop up if you put their names in. There's other ones that pop up on Pinterest that maybe they have blogs and things, but I don't know that they, you know, sell patterns or anything like that, so I don't know their names. So this is going to be thread painted, this flower here. And I'm not worried that it has a border. I think that adds to it. It doesn't bother me at all. So let's get it all put together and then see what's going to happen. Very excited. I had forgotten about these sorts of images for a while. I've seen, you know, I've always admired them in the French stitching, and then I had forgotten that I could get my own fabric done with those. Colour fast. Because I think that's the important note, is that it is colour fast. So if you were to put them on a bag, you can wash them. Clearly, like if you've got wool embroidery on them and stuff, you'd have to hand wash it, especially if it's hand dyed. Some of the hand dyed wools and things are not. They could run, so I would probably cold hand wash if I had to. I'd probably try and avoid it, but if you had to, if you're using wools and things for your embroideries, if you're using DMC, you should be okay. I'd still do it cold just in case the colour ran. You never know. Bit of a bloody blah today. And then I thought, I don't have a backing for the frame, but I think a nice big thick piece of cardboard will do the job. And then I will back it like they do professionally with a lovely Florentine paper, I think. Cover it all up. Oh my wordy lordy. Oh, and I really wanted to show you today one of the cool things I got last weekend. Yeah, I'll maybe run into the other room and grab it and show you. I want to show you something I got from my mum. She already knows about it. I showed it to her. I couldn't wait. I was going to surprise her when I go home, but I'll show. I did show her on when I was chatting to her. I'm just doing slightly bigger stitches too, because it is fraying a little bit, which is I'm not concerned about, because I can do my embroidery of the leaves slightly wider to cope with that. That's what I've been doing on my big piece too, where I've got fluffy edges. I've been trimming them down flush, and also just making sure I've got, or like outlining embroidery stitches on there, or the colouring in, the satin stitch, colouring in. Well, it's really colouring in, because I colour in every direction, a bit like Mana Lunt, who totally disappeared off the scene. I haven't seen her post anything anymore on Instagram. She did amazing lampshades. Oh, she embroidered Liberty of London on a lampshade. It's very famous. And she does incredible portraits and all kinds of embroideries. It's like she's painting with her thread. It's really amazing. I did take her lampshade course. She took all of her courses down. She doesn't have them up anymore. And I was covering lampshades, and I did sell quite a few of them at the markets, probably too cheaply. I quite like the fraying. It makes it's like the leaf is fluffy. Now, if you had some antique trims too, they'd be lovely all the way around. I could have done that. I've got the other one to do. I haven't decided that one yet. Could be a bit of a thing, couldn't it? Please don't unthread. Good. Oh dear, what have I done here? Love, love, love. So I'm sorry they're out of stock, but I didn't know what this fabric was like. The lady at the place said to me, oh, it's a very light cotton popline. The popline, but I thought popline was often a bit thicker, but I'm not an expert, so poplin, I don't know. She said it's a bit more like a voile. It is thin, but it's been fine. I thought it would be hard to maneuver because it's so thin, but it's been perfectly fine, which I'm pleased about. Actually, I'll put it out there. Those of you who have purchased this first round, and they're on the way already because I've shipped nearly all of the orders, tell me what you think about it. Like, do you prefer this one, or do you prefer the other one? So maybe for these images, I might get it printed on that other one, on this one, the poplin. Just, you could leave a message on Etsy, that would be great. How did you find that fabric? It does need a support, so putting it on a fabric like this, or a piece of ticking or something to give it a bit of oomph, is absolutely necessary. But the other one I would put on something as well, so the jury's out. Oh, I love it. I'll also be curious to see I imagine the print will be the same on both of them, so I'm not expecting the other one to be any different. They did have some issues with this one. There were a few marks, but I've found that I've kept those pieces. There was one that had a mark behind the image, but can't see it on the front, so that was fine. And then there was a blotching in between the images. They did tell me they had an issue with that, but I've found it's fine, so I didn't complain about it. I'm not much of a whinger, really. I don't. If I can use it, I don't generally complain. I probably should say something when something's not exact, but I usually, if I can manage it, it's fine. I'll keep it. I don't like the hassle of things. Like if it were a big issue, yes, but if it's just a minor issue, then I prefer to just deal with it rather than having, issues and toing and froing and messages and wasting my time. I've got better things to do than complain about things. Okay, I've got my little bit of Solvay. I think I've cut it big enough. And so I want to go on here, and because I don't fancy, it's quite a complex flower, I don't fancy having to draw that myself. I can't get my words out. I'm just going to put you aside. I already love it. I'm just going to pin it in place because it is slippery stuff. It will slide around. And I'm going to draw all of it. Well, no, not all of it, but most of it. Can I see? And I'll keep this flower near too, so I can just have a gauge of how the colours are. And that goes up there. And you can just see them. But that will help me also position it. I tend to start, because I'm a lefty, I'll start drawing over here, even though I'm not really overlapping onto it. I will start drawing it first on this side, so that way I don't run my hand into it. Okay, I don't think I need to draw more than that. You can see that. And I can't see there because the light's reflecting. I'll just have to lift it for a second. Yep, pinning this stuff is essential, and that's kind of like that. So just some sort of permanent ink marker you need on the Solvay. And there's many brands of Solvay. Just type in Solvay, S-O-L-V-Y, and Madeira is one of the more famous brands that I know of. I had never heard of this brand before, but it's what came up on, I was going to say what came up on YouTube, on Amazon. And I'm just sort of winging it here a bit because I can hardly see. It doesn't really matter. I can make it my own. That can go like that. And then, because some of it's sort of like, it's just, you see the background. You can't see that there's no colour there. Okay, like that. Yeah, that's all right. And just do that. Bit of colour that in a little bit so I can remember that's all coloured in there. Okay, I'll be looking at it anyway. There we go. So I drew that. Now, is there anything else I would like to draw? No, I think that's it. There was a bit of a light bulb moment to say, let's do that. Now, the fun bit. I've got to keep that there so I can see. Okay, and now we need to position the flower. Aha, there we go. So I'm going to pin and then I'm going to tack it on, and we will not be able to tell what's happening until it's all embroidered and I've pulled away the Solvay. So with Solvay, generally you soak it and it dissolves. I don't like it because you really have to soak it to get rid of the Solvay. I literally just grab my needle. Once I've stitched it all, I'll grab my needle, slide it under and lift it and pull it out. And where it's heavily stitched, it will just live under there and you will not see it. And then on the edges, you just lift it all off. So I'm going to tack that on. I'll use my tacking thread. This is very common here in Italy. Mum always gets me to buy it for her. She loves using this because it's just a cotton. It's thicker. And I'm trying to find I might be able to thread it in there. It's thicker, so it's not a fine sewing machine thread. So then you're able to see it and not, it's easier to pull out. Usually you don't put a knot when you're putting in tacking, but I cannot be bothered, so I will do a knot. Because I find, it might take me a while to work on this, and it slowly comes undone when you just loop over and don't do a knot. I might just shoot down here, and what I can do is I'll trim away the excess. Oh, I'm going to be embroidering, that doesn't matter. Take that needle out. So the goal is to get rid of needles with tacking, because needles just get in your way and hook onto your threads, and it's really annoying. Oh, I'm going to stitch into your face, dear. The nice thing about fabric too is when you poke a hole, you just go over like that and it just closes itself back up again, not like paper. See, I am going to end it off doing the proper way where you just loop it over a few times. But slowly it does come undone, so I've done multiples there. And that is going to go over there, but I might decide that I need more. For example, I think I do need more. I think I need this coming up over here, that coming up over there. And I may decide to come in and put some down here. I think I will. I think I need to put some of this in here as well. just to make it more sort of like a flowy sort of thing. Yes, I think I do. So probably I should have done more solvy. I might stitch that first. It's moved a little bit. That's okay. I can just adjust it. I'll stitch that, and then I'm going to do a bigger solvy with this part down here. Some of this. So we'll do that afterwards. I'll have that ready for next time. So I think I'll stop here because it's very late. The sun's coming over. And I'm very excited about doing this. There is more that's going to happen, but I'm just trying to work it out. And that's going to be in the frame. It's going to be lovely. And then I need to think about this one. So for next time also, I'll have this stitched on. I'm going to find my bit to thread paint here and have a think about it. Do we want a little bit of something on it? I need to put that there, that I might have something over there. Who knows? I don't know, but I'm very excited about it, and I love the frame. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm sorry that it's a quick video, but yep, it's very late and I need to get cracking. And I will get the heart kits done. I won't get that many done, but I'll get some done maybe tomorrow. So yeah, my sister's fault. All your fault, Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. And oh no, wait a second. I'm going to go and get you two things. I'm back. I just need to show you these things because they were just too special for words. So, oh my goodness, I love these. I just can't stop looking at them. Steph's going to love them, I know. Oh, so old worldly and lovely and beautiful. Okay, so this is, I bought this for Mum. I can't see the sun shining in. So it's a Petit Point little bag, probably early part of 1900s, I would say. I'd have to ask Patricia because I bought it from her. I didn't ask her the date. I'm going to write her a message and ask her the date. And then from another person, I bought myself a little present. I bought these two gorgeous little oil paintings. Aren't they pretty? I just love them. So sweet. I just couldn't leave them there. And then I bought these from Patricia, who's a lady that I buy a lot from. Okay, guys, let me zoom you out a little bit. Okay, is that right? Yep. Okay, so what these are trays. They're wicker basket trays. See, it's all hand stitched on. They came from a convent, and the nuns, let me just give you a tap. The nuns used them. They were their felt mats. See those mats? They would carry their projects on here. So I can carry this around on here with the threads, and they would that's what they'd have on their lap when they were stitching. Isn't that gorgeous? 1800s fabrics they put on this one. And let me show you the other one. Is this one. Look at that trim. So this one is a 1700s fabric, where I was talking about it with Patricia and we were thinking it is. And they really just, she said they really just used what they had. And I'm going to stitch all that's coming undone there, but I'll just maybe stitch it back on. I don't want to cut it off. And they were they're stitchy trays. And I just couldn't leave them there. They were just too special. And they've got the IS, which is the religious symbol. But I just thought they were just too special for words. Love them. Really, really cool things. So that is my video for today. Maybe that will be my thumbnail photograph. Might have a frame and the image. And yep, so I'm off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and find a lovely image to stitch if you don't have these ones. Well, none of you have them yet because they just arrived. But yep, they'll be back in stock, I hope, by the end of next week. Could be early the week after. Who knows how quick they are at printing them. So have a wonderful day, and I will be back again tomorrow. Bye.